If you have limiting beliefs, like you're not good enough, not worthy enough, you don't have enough money, knowledge, skills, you're too young, you're too old, neural patterns in your brain is what beliefs are. And we have constructive ones, destructive ones, empowering ones, disempowering ones, positive and negative neural patterns called beliefs. The key is to deactivate the beliefs that disempower you and to create a new belief that matches the vision and goal you have. Then we have the fears that I talked about. I'm going to give you a couple techniques. If you have a fear of having a goal and failing, you're not going to take action, because as soon as that circuit turns on for the failure circuit, which is the fear circuit, guess what happens? All of the motivation that you had goes out the window, and you either fight, freeze, or flee, meaning running away, doing something else like procrastinate instead of doing what you need to do. So if you have a fear of failure, a fear of success, a fear of being embarrassed, ashamed, ridiculed, or judged, these are going to turn off your motivational centers and activate your fear centers. So I'm not going to leave you hanging without a solution. First and foremost, understand that you and I became conditioned because of our parents, our teachers, television, radio, our experiences, what we heard, what we saw, what meanings we gave things, which means that we became conditioned. We weren't born with any beliefs or fears or self-image challenges. We developed them. And in neuroscience and neuropsychology terms means that we developed the patterns that got reinforced to become the natural, easy way for us to be, even though we may not want it. So what if you wrote down a limiting belief that you had? Okay, I'm not smart enough, not good enough, not worthy, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I don't have this, I'm too young, I'm too old. Write out whatever you want. And then what if you just created a new language pattern and reframed it and said, in the past, I used to believe, fill in the blank, and now I believe that I am smart enough, I am good enough, I am worthy, I can achieve this, I can find the money, I can upgrade my knowledge, I can upgrade my skills, and I'm excited and enthusiastic to achieve the vision and goal of, and write in the blank. Now, if you wrote that out and you repeated it and emotionalized it and felt it as if you were a Hollywood actor or actress learning a new role, you would activate something called the neuroplasticity switch in your brain that would cause new neurons to connect. And if you reinforced it for the next 100 days by reading it, emotionalizing it, recording it, and listening to it, you would take a new pattern that you wrote out, and then you would impress it through spaced repetition. Repetition, okay, is what is required in order to strengthen and reinforce a neural pattern. And practice is what makes permanent. Let me repeat. Practicing a paragraph or an affirmation of what you want is what makes permanent. What that means is it makes the neural network permanent, and it replaces the old pattern. It takes 66 days to 365 days to do this. So don't do it for a week going, nothing's happening. 66 days to 365 days. That's for limiting beliefs. Slow down and create plans. Let me explain. When I was younger, I would take every single day as a challenge to get as many things as I could done. However, I didn't take the time to really focus on the things that were gonna make the biggest impact in my business. I gave everything the same value. And so, yes, I was busy, yes, I was getting things done, but if I could go back in time, I would focus on what is the plan that's going to move me down the road to achieve the business success that I want faster and easier versus harder and more complex. And now, as I am almost going to be 60, I think about time. And I've done some videos in the past on there's no such thing as time management. All you can do is manage what you do in time. But in order to know what you should do in time, you have to think about What are the objectives that you want to achieve in your business? And in business, there's obviously sales, marketing, finance, management, product development, technology, etc. But there are certain things that you need to do before you do the other things. And what I've discovered is we tend to gravitate towards the things that interest us and are easy for us to do. But business isn't like that. In business, there are critical things that you have to do if you're serious about building a business that actually works for you instead of you working for it. So one of the things that is really, really important is that you take the time to find out what are the building blocks for your type of business, whether you're online or offline. Whenever you're looking to grow spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, there's going to be lessons involved. And if you don't learn the lesson, you're going to repeat it. That's number one. But more importantly, when you're doing things on planet Earth in the physical realm, you have to do the right things in the right order at the right time, and nature doesn't care about whether you make mistakes or not. You are going to pay the consequences of those mistakes. And so when we make errors in our judgment, or we make errors in our timing, or we make errors in our tactics, we pay the consequences. And that's just part of the game. And I personally believe that we're playing in a precision model game. And so there's nothing that's out of order in the universe. So if nothing's out of order, my job is to be in resonance with the order that already exists. And that is, for me, resonance or chaos. So I don't look at it as attraction. I don't think that we attract stuff to us the way most people think about it.
Is that resonance though, because I believe we live in an energetic world, is the resonance based on a frequency or a vibration?
Yeah. So if you sit at the piano and you hit the A440 key, chances are that a chandelier that's in resonance with that is going to start vibrating, even though there's no strings between the two. So through the medium of air, anything that's in resonance is in this attractive state or in this coherence state. By the same token, if you hit the A330 key, you're not going to hit that chandelier frequency. And the same is true with the tuning fork. Right? So if you have a tuning fork and you hit a certain key, the tuning fork will start to vibrate. That's resonance. A lot of people think, well, that's attraction. No, it's not attraction. It doesn't work that way from all the research that I have mustered. So my job, and we get into some of the brain stuff, is if you think about a radio. If you turn on a radio and you want to hear or if you want to hear classical music, you might go to 95.5, and it tunes into a frequency that's already here. It's not attracting it, it's already here. If you don't like classical music, you go to 103.3 and you have punk rock. It's already here. So how do we use that as a corollary relationship to, if my brain is the world's most sophisticated electromagnetic switching station, is it possible that I can tune into frequencies of what's already here? And the answer is yes, that's resonance. And so we can tune in on a spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical level. And when you create that coherence, then all of a sudden you start to be in the awareness of everything that's already here that you weren't in coherence with before. And people say, well, I must be attracting it. No, it was already here.